Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I have a book review for you guys. It's gonna be an iffy one because I haven't actually seen any book reviews on this specific book. I haven't seen a lot of people talk about it. When I did look it up on YouTube to see if there was any book reviews on it, there was only a few. I didn't specifically look at the videos. I just went to see how many book reviews there is available of this book, and there actually isn't a lot, which I'm surprised. Well, I'm not surprised, but I'm also surprised because this book actually came out last year, I believe in July, the beginning of July. I guess it wasn't as popular as I thought it was gonna be. The book I'm actually talking about is One to Watch by Kate Stayman London. So if you guys want to know more about this book, then keep on watching. So this book is about a girl, well, a woman named Beatrice Smoocher, I can't say her last name. They do call her Bae. I think that's how you pronounce it because it's shortened from Beatrice, so I'm assuming it's Bae. It's about a young woman who is a fashion blogger and she's not super well known, but she's like in the middle. So she's an influencer basically. She blogs about her fashion because she is plus size, so she talks about ways you could flatter your body and everything you got as a plus size woman, and she has made a following out of that. So that is what her career is. She's not a person who actually goes on dates very often. I believe she's the type that can't really get dates because of her looks. Obviously she is in love with her best friend, who happens to be Ray. They've been best friends for a very long time, since they started working together at this one place. Eventually he moves over to Atlanta and she is in LA currently. He ends up moving over there. He gets in a relationship with this one girl. I think her name's Stacy, or I don't even know what her name is because she is irrelevant. He ends up being engaged to that one girl, and so she obviously is like, okay, obviously I can't be with him. He obviously loves someone else. Like, you know, whatevers. Throughout the book she is, I wouldn't say in love with him. I think she's more like obsessed with him, but whatevers. One day out of the blue he decides to message her and is like, you know what, I'm gonna be in LA for a few days. I'm heading down to San Diego with my fiance to visit some of her family. So he's like, can I stay over at your place? Because where she lives, she's like, it's a 2-bedroom, I don't know if it's a house or an apartment, but it's a 2-bedroom place. So she has spare room, and she's like, okay. You know, he comes over and she's nervous because she hasn't seen them since he left. The last time he left was because they actually ended up kissing while he was kind of drunk. Like, she was kind of confused about it because she was like, you were just kissing with some random girls at the bar and now you're kissing me? Like, what? You know? So she is very nervous to see him. She's hoping that their romance will move forward, obviously, from that situation. You know, she still likes him. She's still in love with him. She tries anything possible not to stay at home alone with him. So when he gets there, she's like, you know what? My friend's having a party. Let's go. You're invited. Let's do this. And he's just like, no, like, don't you just want to stay home and chill? She's obviously trying to avoid to stay there. So she's like, no, let's go to the party. So they go. You know, they're there for like a few minutes because he is meeting her friends, and so she goes to the bar and she asks for a drink, and then he comes up and he's just like, why are you trying to avoid me? Like, you know, like I told you, I just wanted to be by myself with you. I think the conversation comes up of the whole kissing thing. So he's just like, you know what, let's go back to your place. You know, they go back to her place and they do the dirty. Yes, they do it, even if he does have a fiance, but they do it. She loves it. She's assuming, oh my god, he likes me back. You know, we're finally gonna be together. You know, he's probably gonna break up with her. You know, I could finally tell him how I feel, blah blah blah. The next morning, like, she wakes up and she messages him because I guess he went to the room right after they did it, and she messages him and she's like, oh, are you up? He was like, yeah, I'm already on the train going to San Diego, so I'll text you later. So it's like, what, boy, like, what? And so she's like, oh, okay, just let me know when you get there. A few hours pass by. She texts him and like, are you there? He doesn't reply. A week passes by. Like, she's texting him throughout that time, and he's just like, you sorry, I'm busy with, you know, my fiance's family, blah blah blah. Basically, she gets like heartbroken by him because he doesn't want to be with her, and she's like, you know what, F him. I don't need him. I don't need a man. I'm into my career. I'm doing well for myself. I don't need a man. She invites her friend over. This show that's gonna come out called The Main Squeeze, which is basically The Bachelor in their version of the book, eating tacos, drinking tequila, and they get a little too, you know, tipsy. So she starts tweeting out. She always does a live tweet with the show, you know, obviously to interact with her followers. So she tweets out something about the show that catches everyone's attention. It goes viral and she doesn't even know because she's so drunk until the next morning, where her friend is literally text messaging and calling her, telling her to check her Twitter, and she's like, why? Like, I just got up, like, what the hell, like, good morning at least. And she's like, no, check your Twitter. Turns out that her tweet got viral because she was talking about how the main squeeze is not realistic, because they always have girls that are super skinny, like model type girls. All the guys are handsome with muscle. Like, they're not realistic people from like who are actually looking for love. It went viral and people started talking about it and was like, you know what, you're right, you're discriminating like plus size people. It's not realistic, basically. Obviously with that comes backlash and people start like being mean to her, also bullying her. But it does obviously get to her because of that whole thing that happens. They fire the actual producer, or the one who makes the show Main Squeeze. They get someone new who actually was working in that show 5 years prior to that, and so she reinvents the show, making it better supposedly for more views. Because of what Bae did, the show was actually gonna get canceled. So what they do was that producer comes in, DMs her and is like, you know what, let's go to lunch, let's talk. Bae assuming that she just wants to talk about what she tweeted and all this stuff, and so she's like, fine, let's go. They get to the lunch place and that lady's like, you know what, I want you to be the new Main Squeeze. What you tweeted was right, like, we don't have any realistic looking people up in here. Bae is like, what are you talking about? Like, how can I trust you? You're probably just like, maybe you're just trying to ruin my career, blah blah blah. The lady's like, no, like, you know, it could benefit both of our careers. Like, I'm starting off my career, I'm trying to make this thing last, obviously, so you being in it would just make the show succeed as well as your career. So she agrees, she does it. So obviously getting into the show, she kind of has her up and down, has to meet all these men, try to date all of them. There's some good guys, there's some bad guys, there's some really really nice guys, and then there's just guys that are just stupid and they're just there for the show to get famous, right? Throughout the whole time, she is just talking about how she wished Ray would message her back, how she wished Ray was talking to her, like she could have been with him, all this stuff. She pretends to like the guys, like she's not really into it because she made an agreement with the producer that that's all that it was gonna be. Like, she wasn't gonna focus on trying to fall in love and all that stuff. But they did come up with an agreement that by the end of the episode, like by the end of the show, she would have a fiance, and then later on they could break up. So she's like, okay, fine. But throughout the whole time, she's just faking it, and she, like, all the contestants could actually tell. So fast forward, like, the end of the show, like, after some people have been eliminated, someone pops up into the show saying that they've been trying to, like, get into the show and, like, talk to her, and so they let him be in the show. Try not to spoil it, but you could just guess who comes into the show. That's technically the premise of the book. However, what I thought about it was horrible. I rated this book a 2 out of 5 stars. I think so far it was a horrible book, and it was the only book that I read in January because I started reading this the end of January, so I didn't really have time to read other books. I don't recommend it whatsoever. It was so boring. Her character is so annoying. If you're into the Bachelor show, maybe you'll be into it. I've never actually seen the Bachelor show. I don't find it also realistic. I don't really like it. I just thought I'll give it a try since I bought it. I don't know why I bought it. I want to return it. I don't even know how to sell it, whatever it is. But I don't recommend it because it was so boring. Literally throughout the whole story, all she talks about is Ray. I want Ray this, Ray that. Everything she would do with all the contestants, she'll be like, oh my god, Ray used to do that. Oh my god, I wish I was doing this with Ray. Ray. She's there to fall in love, and all she thinks about is Ray, while Ray's over there having a happy life with his new fiance. Like, girl, come on. Not just that, but when she finally does decide to, you know, compete in the show and be like, okay, you know what, I should forget about Ray, I should actually, like, you know, try to fall in love with some of these people. It gets worse because then she starts talking about, like, she starts blaming the producer, saying like, oh, it's your fault, they don't like me because I'm fat, because of you they're talking shit about me, because of you this and that. In the beginning of the book, she was talking about how, you know, not that she's confident of herself, but she's giving confidence to other people of wearing, you know, nice clothes and, like, you know, showing off their curves and all this stuff. But the whole time she's just not confident in herself, and I don't want to read that. Like, I want to read a book where the character is confident about themselves, where they love themselves no matter how they look. And she's just so annoying. Like, she keeps telling herself, oh, I'm ugly, this is why people don't want to marry me, no wonder I don't even have a boyfriend, no wonder this and that. It's like she's literally just putting herself down the whole entire time, and all she does is talk about Ray. Like, she doesn't even try to like anyone else. And then when she is trying to like someone, she's just like, no, well, I like him, or what if he doesn't even like me, what if he's just faking it, or like she doesn't trust any of them. I mean, it would make sense, you know, like not to trust them because you really don't know them, and she doesn't really have enough time to spend with them to actually know them. Her character was just not it. Like, she wasn't my favorite. I hated this book so much, and the only reason why I continued reading it was to make this review because from the very beginning it was horrible. Like, it's easy and fast to read, but it's not interesting. It's not an interesting book at all. At least for me, it wasn't interesting. I do not recommend this to anyone, but it's up to you guys if you guys want to read it. Like I said, the book is like over there. I didn't even show you guys, but I do have it. So I did read the physical copy of it, and it took me like around 2 weeks. I wanted to take my time on starting to read for the year. Horribly, I picked this one to start off with. This is a book, one to watch. It's not that big. It's like 400 something pages. So yeah, I did not enjoy this at all. Don't recommend it to anyone. I don't even know what I'm gonna do with this copy. Somehow I even got coffee stains on it from when I bought it, and I didn't realize if I bought it like this or if I did this myself, but I'm pretty sure I bought it like this without realizing it because I don't even drink coffee, so it wasn't me. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know down below if you guys read this one and what you guys actually thought about it, because there's some mixed reviews out there, like at least on Goodreads. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!